It wasn't your typical weekend. This weekend, Andrew was going to go with his business partner to their lake cabin to go fishing, and Bree was going to stay home. Now, the first night, Bree starts to hear these weird noises in the walls, and she decides to call an exterminator thinking that it was mice. The exterminator shows up, talks to her, explains a couple of things, and decides that he will be back for the traps the next day. But the next day, Bree is nowhere to be found, and there's no indications that she decided to leave. Now, this is the book by Linwood Barclay, and it's called Take Your Breath Away. I always say take my breath away, but it's take your breath away. Now, of course, an investigation started, but it's not a big part of this book. But we do know that the police started looking into the husband. The husband got into this terrible depression and a drinking problem. Now, we fast forward 6 years. Now Andrew decided to start a new family. He moved out, sold the house that was torn down and rebuilt. And this lady shows up again 6 years later and is saying that this was her house, but not really, because this is not exactly the same building. So she's trying to confirm the address. She's bringing groceries as if she was going to start dinner. But the problem is there's a new house there. There's new people living in that house. And is this Bree? Now, from that point, there's going to be a lot of different situations where she might be spotted by family members. So is this Bree? What happened to her throughout the 6 years? Did somebody kidnap her? Is she really Bree, or is somebody pretending to be her? Would they be able to tell if this is Bree or not? Well, that's what we're going to spend the rest of the book trying to figure out. Now, part of this book is introducing us to a set of characters, especially on Bree's family side. We're going to get to know her mom, her sister, the brother, and a lot of people that, as you're going through the book, everyone is starting to look a little bit more shady as time passes. Now, I have to say that I didn't predict the ending at all. The author did a great job shifting the narrative between different suspects and different people that had motive to do something to Bree, whether that was kidnapping her, killing her, or whatever happened to her at the end. So I spent most of my time wanting to come back to this book because in the beginning I was sure that it was this one person that did this one thing, and as time passed I quickly realized, well, what about this other person? So it was very engaging, and it was almost like you were expecting things to go one way, but it kept changing so much that you never knew where it was going. Now, Bree's possible return is exposing everyone, and actually it's what's going to help solve what happened the night that she disappeared. Now, the book, I can separate it into two parts. The beginning is a lot of questions, and again, it is written in a way where it keeps you engaged and wanting to flip the pages just because you have no idea what is happening. You're being put into these different perspectives, different people that connect to each other, but you still don't know where the author is going. Now, the second part is the smoke and mirror effect, that you think you know what you are reading and you think you have it figured out who did it and why, but not until it's actually revealed in one of those chapters what happened that night, or did it actually happen that way. Again, smoke and mirrors, and I did love it. Overall, this thriller was twisted, entertaining, it kept me engaged, suspenseful. At the end, it has a satisfying conclusion. Even though there is something there that I don't like at the end of books, what happens to one of the characters in this book, but it still was good enough that for me, this was a 4-star book. Now, the one thing I feel like doesn't allow me to get to the 5-star part is that one tidbit at the end, and then that I feel like it could have been condensed. This is 352 pages. I think he could have condensed it to 300, 310 at most. And not because he's repeating himself or, you know, we're going over the same thing over and over again. It's because it's some of the things are viewed from different people. And even though you get a different perspective from each one of them, I still felt like he could have condensed some of those chapters and make them shorter, so it would be even more fast-paced, and I think it would appeal to a lot more people. Now, Linwood Barclay, I'm gonna make a video about some of my favorite books by him. You have to start reading him. He has some really good thrillers that, in my opinion, they're very underrated. I think he's a Canadian author, but he writes his novels here in the US, or, you know, set here in the US, and I really enjoy him. Sometimes I have a hard time reading from authors that have been in the game for such a long time, that they have a specific formula that doesn't go with some of the newer authors, or something more fast-paced, or like there's a different style. There's a style difference between his writing and Riley Sager. Completely different writing styles, even though I do love them both. So if you haven't read any books by Linwood Barclay, I think you are missing out, and you should try. Now, this audiobook is amazing. The quality, the voices, the distinction between the characters, it was almost like listening to a movie, and I definitely recommend it. So if you are an audiobook person, or if you like to read in tandem, I think this is a really good book for that. Now, have you read any book by this author? I'd love to know if you have, which one is your favorite, or if you didn't like it, whatever it is, just let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for being here today, guys. I'll see you next time.